So I wasn't really sure if I was going to make this video or not. It wasn't till I recently this week spoke with my mentor, I realized how important this was to talk about. As some of you may know, my father recently passed away, and grief is a very interesting teacher because no matter how much spiritual work you've done, no matter how much you've read, how much you've studied consciousness, or you think you're awake, nothing quite prepares you for your human heart to say goodbye to someone you've loved. I've done my amount of crying, releasing, sitting with it. And I've also experienced moments that were really beautiful, that they reminded me that our relationship doesn't end with someone just because their physical body is no longer with us. And I was reading a little bit from the Universal Discourse Wisdom by Elliot Eli Jackson, book number 2, chapter 8 on it is other planes of existence in the 32 layers of the human aura. And there was a part in this that brought me so much peace that I wanted to share it, not to, tell you what to do with your grief, but just as something that has recently really helped me. The chapter talks about, what happens immediately after someone transitions. It explains that the soul continues on their own journey, but it also explains how the soul may still stick around loved ones for a period of time, anywhere from about 0 to 12 months too. And it's not because the soul is stuck and it's not because it's lost, because there's still something that needs to be complete, possibly with people that are still here on this earth too. And that hit me deeply. The book goes into describe several reasons why this may happen. And one was, there may be people that still need help processing the death and they still need help processing the transition and then bringing important messages or guidance to that person to help them transmute that too. And so as I was reading that, especially with the recent transition of my dad, I was realizing that it's not just about letting go, it's about learning how to listen differently. And I've noticed a lot of little things recently. There's moments that have made me smile so much, and then there's moments that have emotions have surfaced out of nowhere, memories surfacing at the right time. And sometimes, I've felt really inspired to do something that feels bigger than my own thinking. Call it divine guidance, call it, you know, intuition, whatever you want to call it. And I feel like helping people with this is something that can help that period of time really support someone. And, I don't think these moments are by accident. This chapter kind of talks about how, the different planes of existence, they're described as gentle, peaceful, loving, not something to be frightened of or like to be scared about for someone. And instead of asking, when you're feeling something, is that real? Like, is this really happening to me? There's a better question to ask. It's what did this experience invite me to feel? Did it bring you peace? Did it soften your heart? Did it help you continue living? Because sometimes that's enough in this process too. One of the parts that really stood out to me that I highlighted was the discussion around generational healing. The chapter suggests that sometimes our loved ones continue supporting us after transition because there's a pattern within the family line that's ready to end. And as I was doing my personal reflection on everything, I was realizing that every generation carries both gifts and wounds. We inherit stories, beliefs, ways of coping, ways of loving, sometimes fear, sometimes strength. And what if part of honoring those who came before us isn't simply just remembering them, but healing maybe something that they passed down that was in us for us to heal, to be more present, to be more loving, to be more authentic. And what if that's the greatest way we could continue their legacy too? That perspective shifted how I'm experiencing this grief a lot. And instead of feeling like it ended, it feels like a part of something new just beginning. If you've ever, lost someone you love, I want to encourage you to don't feel pressure to look for signs. Don't convince yourself that every feather means something or every flickering light is a message. Stay open, stay grounded, stay present. And if a beautiful moment comes, receive it. If it doesn't, that doesn't mean your loved one isn't at any less of peace or is less connected to you. Love doesn't need to be constant proof to be real. Grief isn't about forgetting, it's about learning a new relationship. Maybe it's no longer the conversations that happened at the dinner table, but a conversation with your heart, through your intuition, through lessons that they've left behind for you, and through the person you're becoming because that person existed. I think the greatest way I can honor my dad is to live fully and to love deeply, to heal anything that needs to be healed and to become more of who I came here to be. So, if you're grieving right now, and this doesn't have to be a death, you may be grieving the loss of someone in a different way. Just know you're not alone. And I would ask yourself to change your perspective a little bit. Maybe, you know, take a look at how that person impacted your life and how you can continue to carry on what they gave you to somebody else. And take what resonates in all this, leave what doesn't. But I just really felt called that after reading that to share that with someone. So I hope you have a beautiful day.